Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Alex Rios, Carlos Quentin and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Don Wakamatsu's Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the first of this 4-game set and the first of the 7-game homestand. It'll be 4 against these guys and then 3 against the Oakland Athletics. So as you know, the Sox coming off that 11-day, 10-game road trip, 4-6. We come in, we're 1 game in front of Minnesota, 2 games in front of the Tigers. But tonight, one of the best pitching matchups and 2 of the best young pitchers in baseball.
John Danks has the lowest batting average for a left-hand pitcher against a right-hand hitter in the entire major leagues. He's won his last 3. He's 10-7 this year, and his ERA keeps going down with every outing. And last time out against Seattle, he went into the 8th inning, gave him just 2 hits and no runs. It was a brilliant performance, but he didn't go head-to-head with Felix Hernandez. That was Gavin Floyd, who pitched brilliantly, and they battled one another to a standstill. Felix is 7-6, his ERA is 2.75, and in Seattle, he went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. He's one of the best around. This pitching matchup is something that I would pay to see. Fortunately, I don't have to. You don't have to either if you're watching Hawk and I, so let's go get them.
All right. Sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Chicago White Sox baseball is brought to you by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball. Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. And by Ford. Drive one, better yet, get to your local Ford store and drive them all. From Focus to Fusion to F-150. There's a Ford for you.
Chicago White Sox baseball on WGN-TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is worth $24 million. Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting provided by WRTO La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports leader. White Sox SAP is brought to you by Galaxy, home remodeling experts since 1984. Do great work, give a great deal. That's Galaxy. Seattle Mariners come to town at 39-60 in last place in the West. And they will line up this way against John Danks. It's Ichiro leading it off. Then it's Figgins, Gutierrez, Lopez, Kochman, Milton Bradley, the DH, Saunders, Johnson, and Jack Wilson playing shortstop and hitting ninth. The defense and how they'll line up behind John Danks, left to right. Pierre Rios and Quentin in the infield. Vizquel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Konerko. A.J. Przinsky behind the plate, and John Danks on a hill. John's looking for win number 11. And this is 20th start with one complete game. Opponents hitting 220. We're ready for baseball, and I'm ready to turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports on the U. First of this four-game set, and the first pitch to Ichiro is taken for a ball. Suzuki comes in hitting at 308. 3 homers. He's driven in 27. And he's going to get it and throw it, as all Sox fans know. And the same thing for Felix Hernandez as that pitch, souvenir left side. Mariners come in hitting at 235 as a club with a 3.85 ERA. And the count 1-2. Nice crowd on hand tonight.
Visibility very much favoring the pitcher at this point.
It always favors the pitcher. Goes into left field. One goes back, and that's out number 1. Mariners 15-32 on the road.
They had a whole lot of trouble scoring. One of the reasons is very much a down year for the man you're looking at, Sean Figgins.
Switch hitter hitting at 232, no homers. He's driven in 23. Can't get it. Foul tips it, and the count 0-1. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. Fakes a bunt, takes the ball.
What damage Figgins has done this year. He's done from the right side, where he's hitting 289 as opposed to 206 as a left-hand hitter, where he gets most of his at-bats.
And that's in the hole. Can he get him? Gun. Nice pick, Paulie. Yes! Beautiful play both ways. Nice.
Lexi's been doing this for the better part of 2.5 months. Goes into the hole, plants the back foot. Good pick by Paulie at the other end, and they get Figgins by a half step.
Paulie's been doing that for the last 11 years.
Mike Muchinski on the call, and it was a good call.
And here's Franklin Gutierrez. Hitting at 249. 9 homers. He's driven in 40. Takes first pitch strike. This is the 7th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 6, Sox have won 5. Breaking ball. And very quickly, the count 0-2.
The big one to win tonight as Minnesota goes against Kansas City. And Zach Greinke, Kansas City at home. Very much an advantage for Greinke, although he goes head-to-head with Liriano for Minnesota.
One and 2 the count. And that change up. Exactly what he's supposed to do with it. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Danks after a half inning of play. It's the Mariners 0, and the good guys coming to bat.
Lining up tonight, it's Pierre leading it off. Vizquel hitting second. Then it's Rios, who's driving in runs at a prolific rate. Konerko, Quinton, Katse the DH. Brzezinski behind the plate. Ramirez at shortstop. And Beckham playing second, hitting ninth. The defense and how they're going to line up left to right. Saunders, Gutierrez, and Ichiro. Then Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, and Kochman. Rob Johnson behind the plate. And Felix Hernandez on the hill at 7-6. The ERA spectacular at 2.75. On for the 22nd time. He does have 5 complete games. Went 8 innings against our Sox in Seattle and was pretty close to unhittable.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As that's ball 1 to Juan Pierre. Juan comes in hitting at 250, no homers. He's driven in 19.
Didn't come into play last time, but Felix Hernandez has 11 wild pitches this year.
Guys to bunt it and the count 1-1. Sox come in hitting at 258 as a team with a 3.99 ERA. Sox are 27-19 here at home. Outfield swung around to the left. That's low. Felix, just 24 years old, 6'3", 225 pounds, out of Valencia, Venezuela. Beautiful little town, several hours outside of Caracas. There's the bunt. Johnson, he's got time. 1 out. And let's check out tonight's Dodge picks to click. Jim Angie, our director and crew, going with Alex Rios. Stone Pony's going with Katse, and Tracy and Cindy Williams, along with Wayne Delaney and I, we're going to go with Gordon Beckham. For more information on the entire vehicle lineup, log on to Dodge.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Dodge dealer. Here's Omar, takes first pitch strike. Omar at 276, a homer, and 17 knocked in.
Got Lopez well in at third base. He's off the line and in on the grass by a step and a half.
That outing last Monday. Check that. Last Wednesday. Felix and Gavin Floyd, they were both dealing. That was a beautiful thing to see. The best young right-handers in baseball. And tonight, one of the best young left-handers, and again, one of the best young right-handers in the game. That's a can of corn. And that's out number 2. So 2 out to Alex. Rios comes in hitting at 311. 16 homers, 57 driven in. He is 3 for 12 lifetime off Hernandez.
Outfield going to play him straight away and very deep in all 3 fields.
Chops that one over and then back into the Sox dugout.
What makes Hernandez as tough as he is not only does he throw hard, he throws in the mid-90s, pitches probably at 93, 94 comfortably. He's got a great straight change. And that, along with a curveball that he drops in, is really difficult to handle.
Well, I said it when we saw Strasburg in Washington, and Strasburg is the best young right-hander I have ever seen come into the major leagues. And this kid out there on the mound right now is not far behind. That breaking ball. I think I told you the story about that. I was in Boston when their right-hander made their debut from Japan, and there was so much hype.
That's Suzuki.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, the hype was unbelievable. As he gets him, a 1-2-3 inning, and after 1, no score. 0-1 the count to Jose Lopez here in the second inning. And the count 0-2. Outfield about equidistant, straight up, maybe just slightly a little bit to the left. And that's popped up. That's Konerko.
Dunn hasn't always worked this way. I mean, he's always had the ability to be this good. Just had to let experience catch up to his ability. But I think looking at Mark Buehrle, sitting next to him, talking to him, has made him almost a clone. Throws a little bit harder. Of course, has many less innings than Buehrle has. But he wants to get it and throw it and take advantage of this visibility as much as he can.
Casey Kochman hitting at .225, 7 homers, 30 knocked in. Well, he's had, as we talked about so often, he's had 2 great mentors, Don Cooper and Mark Buehrle.
Well, you just saw the swing that Casey Kochman, a fairly decent hitter, took. That shows you the visibility.
Ate him up, slowly hit, and 2 down. We're getting back to Matsuzaka and his debut with the Red Sox at Fenway, and I told all the guys on the team there, they're promoting the wrong guy. He threw a 1-hit shutout. So here's Bradley. Bradley at .207, 8 homers. He's driven in 29.
He's a switch hitter, and he's been equally ineffective from both sides of the plate.
There's the strike. Bradley last year with the Cubs at .257, 12 homers, and drove in 40.
Not the best of years. It prompted a trade. They had signed Carlos Silva to a $48 million 4-year contract. So they traded a bad contract for a bad contract.
Souvenir right side. Will be in the LG Skyline Club seats. Could be close to a sellout tonight. He gone. 1-2-3 inning. After an inning and a half, no score.
.85 at U.S. Cellular Field earlier today. The beer garden called TBD serves beer, wine, and soda. Serves as a perfect meeting spot before and after games. Open to all fans, 21 and older. A game ticket purchase is not necessary for admission to TVDs. The Outdoor Beer Garden opens 2 hours before the start of each home game, remains open 1 hour after the final out.
Paulie takes ball one. Paulie comes in hitting at .298, 21 homers, 67 driven in. 4 for 14 lifetime off Felix. And he's got the catbird seat. Bottom of the fifth down in Florida, no score. Tigers and the Rays. Minnesota had scored 2 in the top of the first, still hitting the runners in scoring position off Zach Greinke.
I think they've increased that score by a few.
Ball hit down to Lopez, makes a nice little pick right there. 1 down.
The ball was hit hard, and at the last instant, it had a lot of overspin, and it came up on Jose Lopez. He stayed right with it and made the play.
So here's Carlos. Well, the only way you can stay with it, come up. Yeah, they got a few more off Greinke.
They did. Unfortunately, 6.
The only way you can do that is have your glove down. Quentin 1 for 8 lifetime off Hernandez. Just ate him up right there with that one.
Felix one of the few guys that when he goes inside to Carlos Quentin, he goes inside off the plate. Carlos doesn't lay off it. It's awfully hard to hit. That's the career numbers of Felix a lifetime. Sox haven't done too bad against one of the league's best.
Ate him up, and that's going to be dropped by Kochman. So that'll be a base hit.
I think Kochman took his eye off it thinking that Figgins was going to get there, but that ball was hit almost directly over his head. So it created a whole lot of problems for him as he went back, realized Figgins couldn't get there, and tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch with his back to the infield. Worked out very well for us, not real well for them.
That'll bring up Kotsay. Mark hitting at .226 homers. He's driven in 20, but he has had more success against Hernandez than anybody in our lineup. 7 for 19. And there's a bullet. Look at that. Caught by Kochman. He tags the bag. And Kotsay is still wearing it. Hitting line shots all over the ballpark right at somebody. Michael Saunders will lead it off here in the top of the third. It'll be Saunders, Johnson, and Wilson.
We didn't see Saunders in Seattle. He had dove back to a base, jammed his finger. He is okay, and Seattle has to figure out if he can play every day. That's one of the reasons why he's in against the left-hander tonight.
Yeah, he had a couple of big hits in that Boston series. Send to left field. One. No, can't get it. So that will be the leadoff double, and you can cancel a postgame show.
I know the general manager, Jack Zurinsik, likes this guy, and he wants to find out if he's part of their future. And to do that, you have to put him against some pretty tough pitchers. Juan Pierre diving for that ball, has it tipped the end of the glove and bound away. Now it's up to Johnson to get him to third base.
He's hitting 193. Tries to, and Paulie right there. Paulie on the spot. 1 out. Yeah, there are the 4 Minnesota runs coming on a Danny Valencia grand slam homer.
He's a local product, Danny Valencia, getting his opportunity to play and making the most of it. Very bad bunt by Johnson. He's only had one sacrifice, so you're asking a guy to do something he doesn't do very often, and normally it doesn't work out for you.
So here's the veteran, Jack Wilson. Pretty good little player. Hitting at 255, no homers, he's driven in 12. And that's trouble. That's going to be a base hit. And Saunders is going to score, and the Mariners lead it 1-0.
Only the 13th run batted in all year for Jack Wilson, who was injured a part of this season. Wilson has under 200 at bats as he drops this ball right in front of Rios in right center field. You don't want to fall too far down to Felix Hernandez.
Here's Ichiro. He went out to Pierre. Takes that up and in. And the count 2-0. Ichiro, 36 years old. Two-time Hall of Famer.
He will be.
Yeah. And Gordon's got him, and that's out number 2. And a reminder, you can organize a group outing of 20 or more guests during the 2K10 season. Purchase a block of tickets or enhance your outing with one of 6 great party areas. And, of course, that is the Bertucci Boys domain out there. The more tickets you order, the more money you save. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
Well, we've been gone for 2 weeks. I thought we'd see Bobby up here with a big platter of ribs, some Italian sausage.
Well, you were talking about it earlier, and I know your heart is broken.
Some chickens, a few Italian beefs, a light appetizer.
Biggins pops it up. So a couple of pop-ups right there, but they get on the board. Leadoff double by Saunders, RBI single by Wilson. Go to the bottom of the third, trailing 1-0. tough assignment this evening, facing Felix Hernandez, one of the league's ERA leaders. The Mariners right-hander is second in the American League with a 2.75 ERA, trailing his former teammate Cliff Lee, now of the Texas Rangers. And for all your home improvement needs, you can shop and save big money at Menards. Want to know the count to AJ. And there's a curveball strike. AJ hitting at 235, 6 homers. He's driven in 28. 4 for 19 lifetime of Felix. Soft pop up. Biggins says, I'll take it.
Well, Ramirez is going to take a long look down at Jose Lopez at third base to find out just exactly where he sets up. If he sets up to take away the bunt, then he won't think much about it. If he stays there, you can bunt on it.
Alexei hitting at 277. And that's bobbled, and away.
Let's see what Bob Rosenberg has in mind. Going to give him a base hit instead of his 13th error. That went to his backhand. Took a high hop. Hit the heel of the glove. Bounced up and bounced away. I think he got a good part of that knee also.
So Alexei 4 for 10 in stolen bases at first. And here's Beckham. Gordon hitting at 239. 4 homers. He's driven in 28.
The Seattle catching staff leads the league in passed balls. That's something to bear in mind. And Rob Johnson, who had 2 hip surgeries in the offseason, has had a bit of a hard time moving side to side. Normally he's a very athletic catcher. He had 3 surgeries in all. And came back to play after 4 months.
Decent. Just a decent lead by Alexei. And Hernandez, a very athletic pitcher out there. Got a good move to first. Feels his position well. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was a pretty good hitter. Checks it up. Tough check right there by Gordon, and the count 1-0. Long look down at Jeff Cox going through his sequence.
Well, if Seattle is very smart, he's not going to find out, and baseball won't find out if he's a good hitter for a long time. Because he should be wearing that Mariner uniform for a long time.
Fouls that back. Gordon 1 for 5 lifetime off Felix. Well, the way you stated that is that there is or are some pitchers that maybe should be swinging the bat rather than throwing the ball.
Yeah, there's a few of those around. And judging by today, you know when you're getting to the trade deadline, because Roy Rivas, I hope, expanded his food service considerably, because not only White Sox scouts abounding, but scouts from all other teams around taking a look. There has to be a few trades in the works.
There he goes. And that ball hit hard in the center field, but not hard enough. As Gutierrez makes the catch for out number 2. Well, this is all the deadlines in baseball. For whatever deadline it may be, they're all exciting. Well, you know, you got some activity going, you got a lot of conversation going, you got a lot of talk shows, sports talk shows, you got a lot in media, in print media. And probably about 95% is going to go by the wayside.
Well, the deals you'll hear probably are ones, the deals that you hear being made are probably the ones you're not going to hear being talked about.
Well, that's what most general managers want to try to accomplish. Unfortunately, every organization has got some leaks. Not quite as bad as the Congress, but close. Watch out.
Let's see, leaning the wrong way. Looked like he was ready to run. And Hernandez with very quick feet.
Well, Ozzie wants to get something going. When you get against a guy like Hernandez, every time you get an opportunity, and he's got some options now with this lineup, but he's going to try to get something moving. It's hard to go station to station and beat Felix Hernandez. That's out of play left side.
Well, that would take you 3 hits to get a run.
And a reminder, you can join the White Sox for Mullet Night. Mullet Night right here at U.S. Cellular Field. Get free haircuts on the concourse and enjoy postgame fireworks presented by Great Clips. Arrive early and enter Gate 1 to march in the pregame mullet parade. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Now that'll probably be a stolen base. Could have easily been a pass ball because Johnson should have caught it but didn't. But the fact that Ramirez was running will allow Bob Rosenberg to give him the stolen base. We'll watch it again. Flat out misses it. And Alexei in scoring position.
Well, when you get a guy like Felix Hernandez, there's a good chance you're going to have a few pass balls, a few wild pitches. And there's a base hit. It's going to pick him up. Gutierrez, he can throw. Here's the play. Safe. Here in the second, and this game is tied at 1.
RBI number 20 for Juan Pierre, and he takes it right back through the middle, and then it's just a foot race between the arm of Gutierrez and the legs of Ramirez. It's a pretty decent throw, and Juan reads it well because there's no way that anybody's going to cut this off, and so you know it's going to go through. You also know there's 2 outs. You might as well go to second base and see what happens at the plate. Johnson waiting for the throw, and Alexei beats it anyway, even if Johnson had held on to it, which he did not.
Don't stop now, boys. Pick him up, Omar. Omar hit the ball pretty hard his first at bat in the center field. Ball tails outside.
There's Alexei with the base hit, the stolen base, and the first run scored that ties this at 1.
Talking about catchers trying to get good stuff. Remember the All-Star game? Dave Steve,
yes.
Darryl Porter,
yes,
catching. That was.
Darryl
I felt bad for Darryl.
He should have just started running when Steve threw it and catch it off the back wall.
Steve's ball is moving all over the place. The 2-0. Good check. And the count 3-0 with Alex Rios on deck.
Very difficult to face the same team within the same week and put together back-to-back dominant performances. Now, as tough as Hernandez was in Seattle, tonight he's missing his spots and his stuff looks fairly hittable for him.
There's one. Right here. Right here, Omar. There's a shot base hit. Here comes one. He'll score, and the Sox lead it 2-1. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 18 as Omar Vizquel rifles this ball into right field. Felix Hernandez looks like a mere mortal today as he tried to get a little something extra on this fastball. It winds up and out over the plate. And Omar A good solid contact. Sox have taken a 2-1 lead.
So here's Alex. He struck out on a good slurve from Hernandez. Takes first pitch strike.
We've got to get a good secondary lead with Hernandez on the hill because he's going to throw pitches down in the dirt. And they will bound away from Johnson.
And there's a base hit. On a breaking ball, just shoves it into right field. And you're not going to run on each of them. So he'll pull up at second.
It's a hanging curveball. We didn't see any of these in Seattle, but we're seeing some stuff that you don't usually see from Felix Hernandez, and Rick Adair is coming out to have a word with Felix.
Well, in Seattle, we saw some high curveballs, but you're right, they were not hanging.
No.
They were digging. That was a roller. Talking about some good stuff tonight. Max Scherzer and Matt Garza in that Tiger Tampa Bay game both had no hitters going into the 6th inning. So here's Paulie.
Both of those young pitchers can really pitch. And Scherzer, since coming back from the minor leagues, has been a revelation for the Tigers, who have suffered some terrible injuries in the past 2 weeks.
Paulie hit the ball hard, but right at the third baseman, Lopez. And there's another shot to Lopez. Another hang with him. Dadgummit. But the Sox get on the board. They put a 2-spot. They lead it 2-1. Man. First pitch strike. Franklin Gutierrez. All right, Johnny Danks, you got your lead. Hold them right there, kid. 2-1 good guys here in the top of the 4th inning. And that pitch down low. I don't ever remember, Stone Pony, us getting 4 hits in an inning off Felix Hernandez.
I don't think it happens very often. When you have a guy with an ERA of 2.75, you just don't get too many hits off him for an entire game. In fact, we managed 2 in 8 innings in Seattle. But here, an explosion and a lead.
A lot of fannies and seats tonight here at beautiful US Cellular Field. That ball hit hard. One hopper, piece of cake. And out number one. While we have a moment, a big White Sox shout out. Happy birthday to a longtime Sox fan, Blanche Kelly, mother of Tom Kelly, who handles all the bullpen security out there for us. Tom, great guy, and all the great security people here. Here's Lopez. Ossifer, Fletchall. Tom. There's a shot. Come on, one. Nope. So the base hit.
When you're facing John Danks or Mark Burley, and they cut the ball into the right-hand hitters as often as these guys do, the left side of the infield is going to be awfully busy. And in the early going tonight, Ramirez has 4 ground balls already. They have yet to try out Omar at third after the clinic he put on in Seattle against them.
And that was a clinic. As here's Kochman. He grounded out to Ramirez. Takes first pitch strike. Down low, and a reminder, you can join our White Sox mobile group to receive exclusive offers and chances to win great prizes like autographed jerseys and baseballs. And text keyword SOX to Shy Sox. That's 244-769 to enter to win an autographed Paul Konerko baseball at standard text and data rates apply. Visit whitesox.com for official rules. The ball is striking out. And there's a strike. 1-2. First of a 4-game series, first of a 7-game homestand. We'll finish it off with 3 against the A's this weekend. But tomorrow night, make your plans to be with us. Gavin Floyd against Ryan Roland Smith. And on Wednesday, Mark Burley against Jason Vargas. That's foul. And in the finale of this series on Thursday, Freddie Garcia against David Pauly. And if you can't make it to the ballpark, the next 3 games will be over Comcast Sportsnet.
Ryan Roland Smith has really struggled this year. 1-9 is ERA, 6.27. There was some thoughts of taking him out of the rotation, but Don Wakamatsu said they detected a flaw. They think they fixed it.
Can they turn it? Rack him up. Yes. 4-6-3, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, leading 2-1.
Should the non-waiver trade deadline occur earlier in the season? A is yes, B is no. Just text A or B to 97999 and watch for the results later in the game.
Breaking ball hangs inside to Carlos Quentin. 1-0 the count. Carlos had a little duck snort in the short right field off the glove of Kochman. Got in on him with a fastball. Ate him up. Wilson makes the catch for out number 1. And want to give a big White Sox shout out to Sean Patrick McGraw, who sang the national anthem. He and his guys got together, put a show on pregame for our Sox, and had the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, look it up to see if he was a brother of Tim, son of Tug. And if the mayor couldn't find out, I don't care what his DNA says, he's not. I love that voice. Sean Patrick McGraw. As here's Kotze, he just ripped one, a line shot into a double play.
Now he's ahead in the count and probably going to get a good pitch to hit.
Well, he's been suffering that Alex Rios syndrome now for a couple of weeks. Yeah, Alex went through for 2 months. He just missed that one. High in the right center field. 2 down. So 2 out to Pierzynski. He had a little soft pop up in the right center field. Sean Figgins went back and made the play. Outfield slightly to the left. Tried to check it up, and Jerry Lane says Jerry Lane, a good umpire, one of the better ones. Breaking ball down and in, and the count 1-1. And as you can see, all right-handers try to pitch AJ down and in, down and in, down and in.
That wasn't his best fastball. He took a little something off, and it was still 90 miles an hour.
One hopper. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3, and we're into the 5th, leading 2-1. 2-1 good guys here in the top of the 5th inning. 2-5-0 for us, 1-3-0 for them, as Bradley can't get it. He struck out his first trip, and that's the only strikeout registered by Johnny Danks. A little tardy, a little shank, and the count 0-2.
Well, AJ's going with him how you should go with him, and that's all things being equal, you go inside. But after going inside a couple of times, you want to use that changeup.
Broken bat. Omar's got him. And that is out number 1. And Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? All you got to do is just be the 500 texter to text Subway to 97999. So you go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules. Michael Saunders hit a little soft line drive in the left field that Juan Pierre got there, got a glove on right on the end of it, couldn't hold on, and went for a double, and he came around to score. And there's a chopper 2 hopper. Two down.
I think everybody in this White Sox team feels the same. 11 days on the road, and a lot of guys went home during the All-Star break. Turned out to 2 weeks away from Chicago. Good to be back in those white uniforms and home.
And you were one of them.
I was one of them.
There's a strike to Johnson. Well, almost all the guys were talking about, they weren't complaining, they were just talking about how long that road trip seemed. And it did to me. I know it seemed like it was the longest one we've been on in several years.
Well, going to Minnesota, where it's always tough, even in Target Field, not as tough as the Dome, but tough. Seattle, where you ran into Hernandez, then an off day, and in Oakland, where it's been tough the last few years. That's a long trip.
That off day is what really makes it seem longer, because most guys, there's some that do, most guys, probably 95% guys hate off days on the road. Two and two the count. To Johnson, tried to bunt. He gone. 1, 2, 3 inning. We're halfway home, leading 2-1. One out single, then picked up a stolen base and scored on Juan Pierre's single. Big 6'4" right-hander. Off the end of the bat, right side. Felix. Whoa! Just did get it.
Well, credit Alexei for hustling on what looked like a routine play. Hernandez slowed his footwork at the time, stepping on the inside of the bag, and perhaps that little juggle. I mean, he just got him at first.
So here's Beckham. Went out deep to center field. Tampa Bay leading the Tigers 4-0. And there's a chopper 2 hopper to Wilson. Former Tiger Matt Joyce hit a grand slam homer off Max Scherzer.
Tampa Bay is most likely going to make a deal. They're knocking at the door, just 3 games in back of New York coming into this one. But they also lead the wild card. And they got a good enough team where they could make it very uncomfortable for a whole lot of people because they can run you out of the ballpark.
Here's one. Had that 2-out RBI single. Went to second on the throw home as they tried to get Alexei, and then he scored on the single by Vizquel. That strike evens accounted 1. Hernandez had worked 153 2/3 coming in. He's worked 158 1/3. As there's a bunt. That's a good bunt. Stick it in your pocket.
Well, that's what Juan tried to do the first time up, only he didn't get it out quite far enough, and Rob Johnson was able to make the play. This time he got it far enough away from Johnson where Hernandez had to come get it. And normally when a pitcher has to go that close to the line, you're not going to get Juan Pierre at first base. In fact, Kochman did a terrific job.
Yeah, he didn't jab at that one. He sort of caught that one with the bat. Ozzy's going to have something going on right here. You know that with 2 out and good speed. Vizquel's hit it hard twice. Takes it up and takes ball 1.
Lomar was trying to pull it twice. Be a nice time to slap it through the left side because it's Jack Wilson who's going to cover on the steal.
Pitch out, nothing on. Well, as short as Gutierrez is in center and Saunders is in left. If he can put one in the gap out there, then Juan's going to score.
Stolen bases. Carl Crawford is second behind Juan Pierre. Ajay Davis, who we didn't see, who we most likely will see when Oakland comes to town, is third.
There he goes. High, safe. 36.
That time it didn't matter what Rob Johnson did. Juan Pierre got such a big jump. With Hernandez concentrating on a 2-0 pitch, you see Juan Pierre is off to the races. Even a pinpoint throw is not going to get him.
And that is number 495 in his career. And there's ball 4. So 2 on, 2 out. And here's Alex. Alex 1 for 2. He just fought a curveball off. Served it in the hole between first and second for a base hit back in the 3rd inning.
Well, Hernandez has evidence that his stuff isn't near as good tonight. This is one of the most prolific strikeout pitchers in baseball. And he's only fan one. Go with that one walk, one issue to his scalp.
Goes through that one. Well, it's hard to have, from a right-handed standpoint, better stuff than he had against us. And that's starting Seattle.
8 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts. With strike one and usually strike two against just about every hitter.
Breaking ball, lays off. Good check. And the count 1-1. Stay on him. Right here, Alex. Stay on top of him, buddy. Breaking ball. Just chops it down.
Oh, Jeff Cox made a terrible play and is getting a few boos from the crowd. He said he lost it in the lights. Now, I've heard other infielders say that, but not the coach. It just doesn't look good when the coach goes like that and says he lost it in the lights. Get some sunglasses on it.
He's a piece of work. All right, right here. Good 2-strike hitter, buddy. Ball gets away. Not far enough, and the count 2-2.
That time Johnson did a nice job because that ball was ticketed for foul pitch number 12 for Hernandez. Johnson was able to corral it, keep it close, keep the air at second.
There they go. There's a shot foul.
Look, another hanging breaking ball from Hernandez. Take another look at it. Well, that was a straight change that he got up and out over the plate.
It's a hanging changeup.
And that would have been 2 runs.
There he goes again. And he strikes him out. So the Sox have a threat, go by the boards, win to the 6th, leading by 1. First pitch inside to Jack Wilson, who had an RBI single. Little soft little semi-duck snort into right center back in the third to knock in Saunders, who had led it off with a double. That's a line drive right at Alex Hang Wolfham. 1 out. And a reminder, the first 25,000 fans at each game will receive a Dick's Sporting Goods game card worth $10 off any purchase of $50 or more at Dick's Sporting Goods. Now with 18 convenient Chicago area locations. And remember, every season starts at Dick's. So here's Ichiro going out to left, and then little looper to Beckham at second. Takes down low. And fouls it back. We got the 2 foul ball kings in this game tonight. Both leadoff hitters.
That was right off AJ, and so Hunter Wendelstead goes out to have a word with John Danks. He wants to make sure that AJ's okay because he got hit square with this one. Right off the point of the left shoulder. And Hunter sees that he is hurt. And that's just courtesy of the catcher-umpire relationship where he knows that thing is going to be barking to him for a while, so he goes out, gives him some time to compose himself.
There's a typical Suzuki hit right there. So good speed aboard. All over the years, AJ has learned how to shake those things off as good as anybody I've ever seen.
That's why that one particular position is played by guys that are really tough guys, because over the course of a year, you're going to have just about every part of your body beaten up. And they ask you to go out there and keep on hitting despite tremendous bruises.
So here's Figgins. Ichiro with 23 stolen bases and 30 attempts. As Figgins takes ball 1. He's 0 for 2. Another guy going way back when, who was great about shaking those foul tips off, was Ray Fawcett. Now a broadcaster with the Oakland A's.
Ray was a pretty big guy. AJ's a big guy. If you're a smaller catcher, you have more of a chance for the ball to miss you. Those guys that are 6'3", 6'4", or bigger nowadays, they get hit a few more times.
And that's low. 2-1. Well, Fisk was a big guy. He and AJ about the same size, and they're just going to get hit more. Simple. That's just math. And that's a can of corn into right field. 2 down. And a reminder, prorated White Sox season ticket plans are still available for the remainder of the season. Now, full season, weekday and weekend plans offer great seat locations, savings off the individual ticket price, and the opportunity to purchase 2010 postseason tickets. So call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
This is a guy that can hurt you if you're not careful. And he's hit the ball hard twice, grounded out twice. Gutierrez, if you go in, go way in. John wants to be careful of that change. Numbers don't look great, but this guy's got some surprising power.
Zach Greinke is getting smoked in Kansas City by Minnesota. 8-0.
Well, Minnesota most likely will be making a deal and is in the running for Ted Lilly of the Cubs, who is scheduled to make a start tomorrow night.
There's a strike. Pulled a string on him. Even though it was a bad location, he just couldn't pull the trigger. It was a high straight change.
First pitch, anything other than a fastball, it's tough to be looking for.
Well, we talked about it the other day. Some guys hit off lines. And you get a lot of good fastball hitters who really, believe it or not, it's the smaller percentage by far, but they are also good changeup hitters as long as the changeup is straight. If it's down and has good movement, nobody is a good changeup hitter.
Well, if they were, Mark Burley wouldn't be in the neighborhood of 40 games over 500 because his changeup is one of the best around. And when you consider that his fastball these days tops out probably at 88, most likely 85, 86. Understand just how good that changeup and cutter combination is.
And he's just 31 years old. There's a jam shot. Alexei comes on, makes the catch, and it'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit, and there's one left. They have stranded the two. And we'll go to the bottom of the sixth, leading 2-1.
White Sox hit a home run in the sixth inning. James will win 100 chances to take home the Powerball jackpot. Wednesday's jackpot is worth $67 million.
You get your ticket?
I've been splitting tickets lately. There's four of us. We buy one ticket. Figure it's enough to live on.
Here's Paulie. He's 0 for 2. Hit it hard on the ground first time up to Lopez. And his last time up, he just hit a screaming Mimi with a couple of guys on right to Lopez. And he's got the catbird seat. Took that pitch nicely.
The Sox get another shot at Hernandez. They can ill afford to let it go by the board. This guy, despite having a tough third inning, usually hard to string together hits.
And the count 3-0. 38,815. A sellout.
What a terrific crowd tonight on a beautiful night for baseball. You couldn't have ordered up a better one.
There's a strike. Ball hit high. Stretch. 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 He goes up. Looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Yeah. Number 22 for Paulie, and the Sox lead it 3-0. First. Check that speed of walk. High. high towering drive out of here.
RBI number 68. He leads the team in that department, and we can tell which way the wind is blowing because Saunders went up on the wall. It's our fourth drive of the game. A fastball right down the middle. Paulie looking for it. Didn't get all of it, but got enough as it kept on drifting. And Saunders went up on the fence thinking he had a shot at it. He was wrong. Sox lead by 2.
No, he just wanted a little TV time right there.
Looked good. James Chrissy getting 100 chances to win the Powerball, courtesy of Paul Konerko. I'll be more than happy to split it with you, James.
1-1 to count. Well, the count got Hernandez right there. Went to 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, and poof. And, of course, with that home run by Paul Konerko, the Alex Nelius family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer here throughout the course of the season. That is number 107. So $10,700 donated by Alex Nelius in loving memory of Ursula. 3-1 to count to Carlos.
Second hitter in a row, Hernandez has fallen behind. Now for a guy with 5 complete games and only 74 pitches delivered, not cause for concern, but falling behind is a good way to give up hits.
And that's inside. Don't stop now, boys. First walk issued by Hernandez. And that'll bring up Kotsay. Kotsay is 0 for 2. First time up, hit a BB right to Kochman, who tagged the bag for a double play. And last time up, just missed him on a high towering drive into right center field. And he's got the catbird seat 2-0. So home plate jumping around on Felix Hernandez here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-7-0 for our guys, 1-4-0 for their guys.
They're starting to stir in the bullpen, although nobody is throwing yet. Hernandez can't find the strike zone.
And the count 3-0.
No, I know you would turn him loose here.
No, nobody out. No. There's the strike. There was 2 outs for sure. The way he's been swinging the bat. The 3-1. That ball hit deep. Stretch! Icho back jumps and makes the catch. You gotta be bleeping me. Mercy.
Well, unfortunately, I think that Mark Kotsay is going to need a psychiatrist soon. That ball was out of the ballpark. Hopefully Carlos Quinton is okay because he came back, he slid late, and might have jammed his ankle into the bag. But in the meantime, take a look at Ichiro. He gets back to the wall, knows exactly where he is, goes up as high as he can go up, and pulls that ball back into the ballpark. He robs Mark Kotsay of what would have been his 7th home run and then almost turns it into a double play. What a catch that is. Carlos does jam that right ankle back into the bag. He's feeling it, and hopefully he's okay.
Boy, that was a beautiful timing catch by Suzuki to take away a 2-run homer from Kotsay. I tell you, Mark, you're right. That's unbelievable. Carlos takes off. They're going to get him easy. He gone. That's unreal. So now 2 out. AJ's 0 for 2. He's popped to second and grounded softly to third. Takes it up high. That ball's ripped. Fair ball. Ichiro. Now there's
the guys, the ball guys, got the ball. That is something that they'll most likely hear about. The ball was fair. Good call by Mike Muchinski. He got turned around, called it fair, and then that happened. Going to be a double anyway.
Don't stop now, Alexei. I'm still having trouble getting over Katsay, the way he's swinging the bat and coming up empty game after game. Alexei takes the first pitch strike.
AJ, 18th double. Hernandez very fortunate. This could have been a big inning that virtually put the game away. Instead, it's still within reach.
Checks it up on a breaking ball. Good check by Alexei, and the count evens at 1. Pick him up right here. That's a big run out there. That ball hit hard into center field. Get over his head. It will. One hop, hits the top of the fence. It's a 4-1 ball game as AJ scores. Don't stop now, boys.
RBI number 37. Felix Hernandez is taking a bit of a pasting here. This ball is crushed over the head of Gutierrez, who's an excellent center fielder. But he can't get close to this one. And it brings Adair back out to the mound.
Alexei is throwing the leather and swinging the lumber. He is playing some ball. This is the best he has played since he has been in a White Sox uniform. And I don't think it's any kind of coincidence just because Omar Vizquel is beside him.
Well, there's no doubt that he has a lot of confidence with Omar out there. I'm not sure how much he talks to him, but I'm sure he has on numerous occasions during the course of the game, moving him maybe one way or the other, step here, step there, reminding him the outs.
Well, Omar said he doesn't talk to him that much, but as Gordon Beckham takes low ball 1, but Alexei, on the other hand, says he's learned so much from him. And of course, before the game, Ozzie was talking about it, and he said that Joey Cora had been working with him and deserved all the credit.
Well, I have seen Joey out here early all the time, and he hits ground balls to Alexei endlessly, and now Wakamatsu comes out again. This is the second time in the inning he's gone out to talk with Hunter Wendelstedt.
Now he and Johnson were going at it a little bit. Well, the thing, Joey, is no question, I think, probably has helped him. But what we have seen, he's really played great.
Since Omar went into
the line.
I don't doubt that. And Joey does work with him. The physical aspect of the game, the double plays. You see it all the time when they get a chance early at home.
Pick him up. There's a breaking ball strike to even the count at 1. Everything in baseball is contagious. Everything is contagious. If you're playing next to a guy who's catching everything, all of a sudden there's that pitch inside. Breaking ball. But when you're playing next to a guy who's catching everything, you start to make better plays. You start catching everything. And then the guy beside you starts to do the same thing. And conversely, when you start playing beside a guy who's booting everything, your defense comes a little shaky. Off the end of the bat. But another 2 spot goes up on the board. We'll go to the 7th, leading 4-1. First pitch strike to Jose Lopez, leading off here in the top of the 7th inning. Lopez 1 for 2. And that's sweet can of corn right there. One out. And here's Kochman. He's over 2. He grinded to short, and then he hit into a 4-6-3 double play.
Well, if you're looking for economy in your pitchers, Johnny Danks is going to deliver his 70th pitch of the night after 6 1/3 innings. And that's very good.
And another sweet can of corn. 2 down.
Pretty impressive numbers as John hasn't walked anybody. He's given up to 4 hits, just the 1 run. And he's done it by being very aggressive early in the count and more times than not throwing strike 1.
So here's Bradley. He has struck out and then grounded softly to Omar at third. One to count. No walks, Johnny. No walks. 3-1. He's not had 3 ball count on many hitters tonight.
There is one guy on this team that will take a walk. It is Milton.
And he does. First walk. So here is Michael Saunders. He doubled to lead off the third. A little soft double off the glove of Juan Pierre. And then he scored. And that's top foul. And a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the original source. Shop at whitesox.com and accept no substitutes. There he goes. And he's safe.
Eighth stolen base of the year for Milton Bradley. He's 8 out of 10. Going on first move. And no chance at all for AJ on that throw.
Jacks it up. He went. And the count 1-2. Saunders, just 23 years old. Bit of a gap out there in left center. And there's a chopper to Hopper. Beckham's going to get him again. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. Sox lead it 4-1. Hitter against the Tigers. Got at Tropicana Field.
Garza's had great stuff, and normally it's Tampa Bay on the other end of the no-hitter.
Isn't that amazing? As good as they are. There's the strike to Juan Pierre. Juan is 2 for 3, a run scored and a stolen base. And he's got Austin Jackson at the plate. One and one to count. No, it's not. There's that ball hit. I'm watching it. And he's going to get himself a no-hitter. First no-hitter in Rays history. Right here, a 1-2 count. And there's one in the hole. Look at the play by Jackson, by Wilson. Wow. All in one motion. That's a beautiful play by the shortstop, Jack Wilson.
He's not having a banner year, but he's been just a wonderful shortstop against us, because normally you don't get Juan Pierre when it gets by the third baseman. Wilson just plants and throws with the same motion, knowing that he had no time to set up. Strong enough arm to get it across, and they make the play by a full step.
And we understand that Garza faced the minimum. As Brennan Bosch walked, and then Ryan Rayburn hit into a double play. Well, we all know Garza's capable. To 1-0. That's up high. Just tuning in. Sox were trailing 1-0 going to the bottom of the third. They scored a pair, and they added 2 more in the sixth. 1 home run in the ball game by Paul Konerko. And the count 3-0.
Sweeney warming up in the bullpen, as now the pitches have started to mount on Hernandez, who's about to deliver pitch number 98.
And that's ball 4. The second time that Omar has walked. He's 1 for 2 with that RBI single back in the third inning. Third walk issue.
Very nice picture. Boone, gorgeous, especially with the backdrop of a world championship.
Alex fouls that one back. Watch out. The ball is striking out here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-9-0 for our guys, 1-4-0 for their guys. First of a 4-game set, first of a 7-game homestand. Breaking ball. First and 30 right here, Alex. Put another point or 2 on that board. And that's how to play right side. And a reminder, Saturday, July 31st, 6:05. This Saturday, Sox against the A's. You can get your fedora out and bring some swing for Rat Pack Night. Afterwards, enjoy post-game fireworks presented by all the great folks at Pepsi. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. It's this Saturday. Takes it up.
Minnesota is bringing it all out of the bag tonight. They're leading 12-0 at Kansas City.
There he goes. That pitch foul away. He had that base stolen very easy. And we've got fireworks Friday and Saturday night. Make your plans to be with us here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. And that ball hit hard, but foul. A lot of topspin. Tomorrow night, Gavin Floyd, who has been pitching so well, he'll be on the bump for us. Ryan Roland Smith for them. Outfield around to the right, gap in left center. There he goes again. And from his knees, they don't get it. Number 5 for Vizquel.
Omar got a very good jump. Really not much of a chance for Johnson, as this ball is well wide of the plate. He does what Benito Santiago used to do, which is drop to that one knee and throw it from that position, but this throws off the mark. Omar gets in easily.
That's number 394 in Omar's career. Ball hit hard, lined right to him, and they're going to double him up. No.
Ryan Runge, the umpire. And Omar takes a step toward third before hustling back in. Looks like we caught a break on that ball. If in fact Figgins hit the front of the bag, which it appeared he did.
So here's Paulie. He swung the bat extremely well tonight off this tough right hander. Hit the ball hard to third, then he lined even harder to third. And then he went out of here for his 22nd homer.
He was jumping Jack Wilson there. That ball almost went into center field.
Missed that home run. Poof.
Last inning, a fastball and a towering shot that just kept on drifting.
And he takes strike one right there. First career homer for Paulie off Felix Hernandez.
And only the 11th he's given up in over 160 innings, so he gives them up infrequently.
Breaking ball just didn't quite get there. It's trying to. Big run out there, Paulie. Right man, right time, right place, right now. Looked like a pretty good pitch to hit. Just couldn't get it. High, rolling, breaking ball. Now Hernandez in charge of the count at 1-2. And Paulie just slaps that one to the right side. And once again, no. That's up high, 2-2. That's not too bad when you got a leadoff hitter that has 495 stolen bases, and you got a second place hitter that's got 394.
And a third place hitter who can run as well as some speed in the bottom part of the order, something Ozzie hasn't had from a Sox game in a long time.
There's another rolling breaking pitch. A beautiful evening here in the beautiful city. Two of the best young pitchers in the game. Johnny Danks and Felix Hernandez. Two balls, two strikes to count. We got 3 and 2 on the board here. Just got a piece of it.
Got a piece of Johnson behind the plate also. He's going to try to walk that off. On the inside of the thigh. Omar's bouncing his helmet to himself out at second base. Something I haven't seen done very often. He did it twice in a row.
He's an interesting guy and a fun guy to watch. And always has been. What a player. First ballot Hall of Famer. And a 2-2 pitch. And Paulie working him out hard. This will be pitch number 116 coming up. Four one good guys. Bottom of the 7th. Breaking ball finally got him. And that'll retire the side. Nothing across. We're into the 8th. We got 7 in the books, leading 4-1. Top of the 8th inning. 4-9-0 for our Sox. 1-4-0 for their Mariners. There's that pitch outside. To the catcher, Rob Johnson, who tried to bunt and popped up to Konerko, and then he struck out his second trip. There's a strike to even the count at 1. And the count 1-2.
Sox very anxious to get home for a number of different reasons. One of them, they've won 14 of the last 15 here. And with 6 outs, it'll be 15 of 16.
That's how to play right side. Sox 29-11 since June 9th. There's a high chopper. Johnny's got to hurry right here. Guns it over, not in time.
Well, John did take his time, thinking that Johnson was a slower running catcher. Instead, he actually got down the line pretty well. This ball bounced right off the plate. Johnson smelling a base hit. John did everything he could do, had to wait for gravity, and couldn't get it there in time.
So here's Wilson. Has an RBI single and a line drive to center field. Takes first pitch strike. With that 29-11 record since June 9th, the best record in baseball. As Steve mentioned, we have a 7-game winning streak going on right here at home. Omar comes in, gets it on the hop. I mean, on the big hop. And gets the man at second.
Well, Gordon, realizing he was not going to get 2, had to get out of the way of Johnson, who was trying to roll him at second base. To watch it again, there are plays where you try to get the throw off, and there's other slow developing plays, and this was one of those where Omar just decides that he was going to keep his knee exactly the way it was and his ligaments exactly as tight as they appear at the time.
Rob's going to have to practice that rolling block there.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one. He was trying to roll him with his ear.
Here's Ichiro. He's 1 for 3. He had a little flare, a little duck snort in the left field. And a reminder, White Sox versus the A's. That's Sunday, August 1st, right here. 105 is presented by Shed Aquarium. Now, the first 10,000 children ages 13 and under will receive a White Sox foam dolphin visor. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. Nothing you can do right there. Another Ichiro hit. How many of those has he had in his career? So trouble a brewing here with 1 out. Couple of soft infield singles.
Once this gets by Omar Vizquel, there's no chance at all. Can't get the force at second because Wilson got to the bag quickly, and you're thinking about Ichiro. Well, the fastest to first base still at the age of 36, so it's his second hit of the night.
You could have caught both those hits by Ichiro with tweezers. And here's Figgins. He's 0 for 3. That's low.
Bullpen is starting to get loose for the first time tonight. John Danks has had things well in hand, but he's got 2 on, 1 out here in the 8th, and it's J.J. Putz.
Tries to bunt it. And that's a strike. So the count evens at 1. And there's a strike. The count 1-2. Franklin Gutierrez on deck. Low and inside, 2-2. Still a good pitch, even if he didn't swing at it or he didn't get it. 14-0 now. The Twinkies leading Kansas City.
I like their chances in that one.
Zach Greinke on the bump when that game started for the Royals. Gave up 6 in the first inning. Okay, Valencia, a grand slam homer. Is that? Now the next pitch is huge. Because you got the tying run at the plate. And a tough out, and Gutierrez on deck.
Well, surprisingly, Figgins has grounded into 12 double plays this year. 8 of them from the right side. Let's see if John can throw a ground ball.
Payoff pitch, big pitch. Right to Omar. And make it 13. Rack him up. Yes. He pitches out of it. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. He leads it by 3.
Right now, you can click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all game stats and information while you're watching at home. WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com is brought to you by Columbia College of Missouri. On-campus and online classes fit your schedule and your budget. Here's our AT&T U-verse replay, and it's a double play that got John Danks and the Sox out of the inning. It goes 5-4-3. And despite the fact that Figgins runs well, Beckham with a good pivot at second base. Solid throw, gets him by a half step. See what's new from AT&T. Visit www.AT&T.com. So Hernandez goes 7 innings, and Sweeney comes on. 1-1 record, 4.02 ERA, on for the 11th time. Opponent's batting average indicates 1 hit over the 15 2/3 innings pitched, and he inherits a 3-run deficit.
Carlos Quentin will be the first hitter. He'll be followed by Kotsay. Carlos, a little soft single, a pop up to short, and a walk. Big rip right there, just underneath it. He was all over.
For Felix Hernandez, the 7 innings and 4 runs, along with 9 hits. He walked 3, he fanned 3, and his night is done. Knocking at the door of 120 pitches.
And that's fouled away, so the count 1-2. Beautiful shot of the moon out there, and left center field. There's a bullet into left center field, just under the moon. And let's show you a couple of Kotsay's at bats tonight. We So he's been wearing this. He's been hitting the ball right on the button. What's this? A bullet. Double play. Then watch Ichiro. So here's Mark. Andrew Jones running for Carlos. Get a good lead and steal it, Andrew. Andrew likes to get a couple of shots at the pitcher just to get a gauge on him. He has 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts. And that pitch up high. 3-0.
Good night for Carlos. 2 for 3 with a walk.
Andrew almost took off. And there's a strike.
Minnesota kicked the field goal, by the way. Whew. 17 big ones.
Andrew liable to go. Nope. Throw over. He was thinking about it. I'd like to watch him get his. He loves to get that little momentum lead towards second. Not like former White Sox great shortstop Louis Aparicio did. He does not go. And a full count.
From a pitching standpoint, you cannot allow that runner to have any movement at all. You have to make sure that he's stationary before you throw home.
Well, the difference back in Louis' time zone, pitchers looked at the runner. They were the ones who threw over there on their own. Or you had a sign from the first baseman. Open glove, usually open pocket. Today, the catcher gives a sign. A lot of pitchers don't even look at the runners. Andrew takes off. And there's a shot, base hit. Thank you very much. Andrew will make the turn, head into third on another bullet off the bat of Kotsay. Yes.
Well, I would think, and I don't know who has him tonight, but I would think just in hitting the ball as hard as he has, he would be the pick to click.
Here comes Professor Hill.
Well, I mean, look at this. A perfectly executed hit and run. Got robbed of a home run. Lined into a double play on what looked like it was going to be a double. And now exiting the game to a thunderous applause.
Senator Snow.
He had a tough go of it tonight because of my pick.
So here's AJ. AJ's 1 for 3, a double, and a run scored. Nobody out, runners at the corners. And they'll get the job done. Ichiro's going to make the catch, but Andrew will tag. He will score, and it's a 5-1 Sox lead. Sacrifice fly by Pierzynski.
That'll be on number 29. So AJ picking out a pitch that he could hit in the air. Delivers his first sacrifice fly of the year.
And here's Alexei. Lillibridge is going to be running here shortly. Alexei has singled, stolen the base, and scored. That was in the third. And knocked in AJ with a double in the sixth. And there's a base hit. So Gordon's now trying to get in on the action. He is the only member of this lineup so far that has not picked up the base hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. He's gone out deep to center, grounded to short, and grounded back to the pitcher. Gordon, come on. You can play too, buddy. Oh, he's looking for it, got it, and fouled it back just underneath it.
First ball fastball right over the middle of the plate.
A little looper. Ichiro's out there, though. I'll tell you what, he can cover so much ground so quickly. A great right fielder. Not that that was a difficult play. It was an easy play. Can of corn. But when you're dealing with a guy like Ichiro, the way he can throw, the accuracy and velocity of his throws, he's the best in baseball at that.
You take a look at that throw that he made from right field. Stealing a home run and almost throwing Quinton out at first base. And it was right on target.
Well, he is one of the most accurate throwers I've ever seen in my career from right field. I'm talking about with guns. Ichiro's right in there. He is right in there. Dwight Evans of the Red Sox, Roger Maris and Al Kaline had they threw strikes. I mean, they just threw strikes. But they didn't have the velocity that Ichiro has. Evans did.
A couple guys from that other league over there, Ellis Valentine and Andre Dawson when he was young.
And Clemente, Roberto.
Clemente, but a guy that nobody talks about because he didn't have a long career, but his name was Ollie Brown.
I remember Ollie.
Came up with the Giants, and what a gun he had.
There's the strike and the count 2-1. Don't stop now. Come on, Juan. Juan's having a good night. 2 for 3, a stolen base, a run scored, an RBI. Well, one of the greatest arms to ever play out there in right field was in the White Sox uniform, and unfortunately it was for a very short-lived time before he hurt it and had to have his elbow operated on, and that was Mike Hirschberger. He had a cannon with anybody. Two on, two out. 2-2 the count. Bottom of the 8th. 5-1, good guys. That's a good take right there. That was a nasty pitch. Good try by Sweeney. Meanwhile, full count.
Nomar waiting to get a turn. He's 1 for 2 with a couple of walks and a stolen base tonight.
And there's a base hit. So here comes Lillibridge. As Alexei finally figured out who was out there in right field. Meanwhile, Lillibridge scores, and it is 6-1.
3 hits for Juan Pierre with 2 driven in and a stolen base to go with it. Also a run scored. and those add-on runs late in the game. This low fastball with the runners going. And Juan drills it into right field. Then a heads-up play as Wilson sneaks behind Ramirez. Ramirez able to get back on a good solid throw by Ichiro.
And here's Omar. 1 for 2, 2 walks, a stolen base, and an RBI. Takes first pitch strike. Little soft comebacker, but 2 more going to cross the plate. We'll go to the 9th, leading by 5.
Right-hander doesn't have a lot to show for his last 9 starts in the win column, but his 1.16 ERA shows that Gavin has found the stuff that made him one of the mainstays of the Sox rotation. Gavin Floyd, tonight's Toyota, moving forward. Andrew Jones stays in the game in right field. And Sergio Santos comes on with no record and a 1.80 ERA, on for the 36th time. He's in relief of Johnny Danks. Looking for his 11th win is John Danks. His 4th in a row. He went 8 innings, gave up a run on 6 hits. He walked 1 and fanned 2. It was a great performance once again by Johnny Danks here tonight.
Danksy being Danksy.
Well, he was in control from the beginning of this game. Gave up the leadoff double, which was a floater to left field. Gave up the run in the 3rd inning. And then his defense and his good solid pitching held him the rest of the way.
So here's Gutierrez. Well, you've been around a long time, and you know yourself. There are a lot of times that pitchers, when all of a sudden they're going to face an ace like Felix. A lot of guys don't like to do that. Danksy welcomes it, as does Mark Burley.
There's no doubt.
They love the challenge. They love it when they run those number 1s out there against them.
Well, we saw Gavin Floyd battle tooth and nail with Hernandez in Seattle, and neither of them gave up any runs, so both got a no decision. It was a great performance by both pitchers, and tonight John Danks just outpitched Hernandez.
There's a strike and a count, 2-1. Burley, his whole career, has been going up against number 1s, and he's 40 games over. No walks. Come on, Sergio.
Matt Thornton loosening up just in case.
6-13-0 for our guys. 1-6-0 for their guys. Outfield straight up, spread out. Big hat, no cattle right there. And the payoff pitch. He gone. Helped him out. Swung at ball 4. 1 down. He'll grab some pitch. And that'll bring up Lopez.
This one is well out of the zone as Gutierrez 0 for 4. If that's your strike zone, you're going to have a few 0 for 4s.
Lay off the 0 for 4s.
You had a few? I was never around.
I had a few. I had my share.
I was never around for 4 at-bats.
High pop-up. Stay in here. Stay in here. It will. Thank you very much, Alexei. And that's out number 2.
He did a nice job of staying right with that one. There was no way that Juan Pierre was going to be able to get there and make the play. Alexei with a lot of speed. And knowing that he's the only one who had a shot at this, he just stayed with it. Took a look exactly where he was, knowing the ball was going to come back toward the field of play, and we're 1 out away.
Well, in the last 6 weeks, it's hard to imagine anybody playing a better shortstop than Alexei Ramirez. Yes, here is Kochman. 0 for 3 tonight. Sellout crowd. 38,815, most of them on their feet. Sox trying to make it 6 out of 7 against the Mariners this year and maintain their 1-game lead over Minnesota and move to 3 over the Tigers. In case you're just tuning in, did not hear, the Tigers were no hit tonight by Matt Garza down at Tropicana Field. He did not, says Jerry Lane. And the count 2-1. Gap out there in left center. And that's just a hard strike to even to count at 2. Ground ball, Alexei. And this ball game is over. Johnny Danks. Just Danksy being Danksy. What another outstanding effort from that 25-year-old southpaw.
Well, he also got some very good defense behind him once again. Sox turned a couple of double plays, one an inning ender. And John Danks threw the ball just about as well as you can throw it. He gave up 1 run on 6 hits. He walked 1. He fanned 2. He started out retiring 6 straight. Gave up the run in the 3rd inning, and then just got tougher as the game went along. And his offense got him enough runs. When you go against the other team's number 1 and one of the best in baseball, Felix Hernandez, you know you can't give up too many, and John Danks didn't give up too many tonight and won the battle against their number 1 and a guy that just beat us 5 days ago in Seattle.
So the Sox, with their 6 runs on 13 hits, and we have our post-game guest coming over to the microphone. And, of course, he will be a guy who has been one of the 2 saviors on our ball club this year. Along with Freddie Garcia, we're talking about the first ballot Hall of Famer. And that is Omar Vizquel. Omar, nice game, big guy. Nice going.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you. Another win. We're glad to be getting these wins like that.
Well, the thing about it is that it was a long road trip. It seemed much longer than the 11 days we were on there. We came home 4-6, but this is a very resilient ball club. You've been on a lot of good ball clubs. This is a very resilient ball club.
Well, it is, no doubt about it. We went to into the road trip with a good winning streak, and we just couldn't pitch well enough in a couple of games. We came back, and that's what it's all about. When you try to overcome all the problems that go in the couple of games in Minnesota, and then we came back strong, and now we're back here in home where we can play better baseball.
And Omar, when John Danks and Mark Burley go to the mound, they throw so many cutters into the right-handers. It seems like you and Alexei are a little bit busier on the left side than with some of the other guys. How do you prepare yourself for that, or do you?
Well, yeah, we aware that the guys are gonna get low pitch. We have been getting a lot of ground balls. We have been turning a lot of double plays. I think the defense has been doing a great job in keeping the game close, and that has been a really big key for us during these last couple of months. And I'm glad that we're still getting a lot of work out there.
Well, I can't imagine any shortstop in this league for the last 6 weeks playing better baseball than Alexei Ramirez. Can you?
No, he has so many chances, and people don't realize how much of a range he has. It seems like balls in the hole or balls over the second baseman. He gets to it real easy. And, I'm just really glad to see a guy that covers so much ground. He make my job a lot easier.
Well, y'all had to have really a fun game in Seattle when y'all put a clinic on the left side. With you making those 4 plays and Alexei going in the hole twice and throwing out somebody. It had to be a lot of fun.
It is fun. It is fun to play with a guy that, just can pick everything. And, we have been talking a little bit about positioning. We're not letting any ball to go by there. We're trying not to, and, it's working pretty well.
Well, Omar, we couldn't have been here without you, buddy. Nice going.
Thank you, guys.
Omar Vizquel, and we'll be back.